At 5, another sex trafficking case in Memphis. Suspects charged with taking a woman from out of state and forcing her into prostitution in the Bluff City.
It is a concerning issue within the city.
What signs to look out for to keep yourself and others safe. And thieves in the night attempt to break into 3 different Memphis liquor stores within hours. Video of the crime and how police are tying it all together. Plus, it's a tale as old as time. To wash or not to wash chicken before cooking it. We'll verify. ABC 24 News at 5 starts now. Well, thank you for joining us at 5. We start tonight with another sex trafficking case in Memphis. A man and a woman are now behind bars and facing charges. Memphis police say the two brought a Missouri woman to Memphis and forced her into prostitution. Takeda Hughes and John Hammond were in court today. Hammond and Hughes are facing 15 to 60 years in prison for felony trafficking charges. Each of them have a bond of $100,000. Tomorrow, both suspects are expected to get a public defender. So here's what we know so far. Court documents state Hughes and Hammond met the victim 3 months ago in St. Louis and drove her to South Memphis. The documents state Hammond took the victim's license and told her that she had to make $1,000 each day. The victim says Hammond kept all of the money. Now, after the victim let the officer search her phone, police found text messages between Hughes and the victim setting up appointments and discussing payments. Now, this all comes after just last week, 5 people were arrested for kidnapping and forcing other women into sex trafficking. Those 5 people were in court this morning facing kidnapping and sex trafficking charges. Police say Jonathan Bolden, Kiera Clark, Monisha Nelson, Quintarius White, and Treasure Atkins kidnapped a mother and her 1-year-old daughter, 1-month-old daughter. The victim says she was forced into prostitution at a motel on South 3rd along with another woman. Now, a lot of the credit behind these recent 7 arrests goes to Memphis Police Department's Human Trafficking Task Force working to keep the community safe. ABC 24's Jay Shakur is live in downtown Memphis with recent trends that unit is tackling in the area. Jay, who do they believe sex traffickers are targeting?
Pepper, according to experts, sex traffickers target those living in poverty. And in Memphis, that's about 1/3 of people under the age of 18. Local law enforcement officials say that the more Memphians learn about sex trafficking and the more sex trafficking victims are comfortable with opening up to law enforcement, the faster and the quicker they can catch these perpetrators. With 7 different suspects arrested and facing various sex trafficking related charges in the last week and a half. As you mentioned, MPD is working to raise more awareness on the issue in the Metro Memphis area. Lieutenant Milton Bonds with the department's Human Trafficking Task Force said a key to breaking the cycle of sex trafficking is knowledge and information. The Department of Homeland Security says some of the indicators for sex trafficking include social interactions, victims who display abnormal behavior that seems robotic or rehearsed.
Anything that sticks out that's not normal day-to-day activity could be a sign for trafficking. So I wouldn't want to pinpoint and say it's one particular thing to look for. I would say look for anything that stands out, anything that's not of the ordinary.
Now, again, if you know anything or you suspect anyone is being sex trafficked, you're asked to call local authorities or call the state's human trafficking hotline. That number is on your screen. Live at MPD headquarters, I'm Jay Shakur.
Certainly a scary situation, Jay. Thank you. Well, with 2 trafficking cases happening so close together, we're looking into how the Mid-South is doing when it comes to addressing trafficking concerns. Shared Hope International, an agency that highlights the issues of sex trafficking, ranked Tennessee as doing a good job, especially compared to our neighboring states. Now, the state scored a B, Mississippi scored a D, and Arkansas failed. The scores are based on several factors. They include implementing policies related to buyer and trafficker accountability, third-party screening through child welfare and the juvie system, and access to help and justice. The best thing to do if you do notice anything suspicious in your area is call the Tennessee Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-855-55-TNHTH. Well, Memphis police are looking for the shooter or shooters responsible for the death of 2 teens late Sunday morning in southeast Memphis. It continues a troubling trend with data showing the city's homicides this year is up nearly 40% compared to this time last year. Officers responded around noon on this stretch of Valleydale Drive, and that's near Kirby Parkway and East Shelby Drive. MPD pronounced a boy and a girl dead on the scene. Both were between 15 and 16 years old. Investigators are looking for 4 men wearing red hoodies and ski masks who took off in a red sedan. If you have any information that can help police, please call Crime Stoppers at 901-528-CASH. And smash and grabs continue to plague our city. Memphis police reporting 3 more liquor stores being broken into or vandalized. Authorities said based on the vehicle description, some of them are likely connected to the same suspects. Among the 3 hit included Azor's liquor store on Jackson Avenue, and that's not far from Crosstown Concourse. In this video obtained by ABC 24, you see several young men pull up into the store's parking lot. Now, even though the store had barricades up and gates blocking the windows, the suspects bashed in the gate and window with what appears to be a sledgehammer. The owner said the thieves took around $10,000 worth of merchandise, leaving him understandably frustrated.
I don't know what to do right now because I got all the security I was supposed to have. See, I got everything inside and outside. You can go ahead and look camera and find out when they came in and how they came in and everything. Everything.
Other businesses impacted included Yorkshire Liquor in East Memphis and Southwind Liquor in Southeast Memphis. MPD data shows reported liquor store burglaries or vandalism surged 350% this past May compared to May of 2022. And so far this month, the city is on pace to shatter the June 2022 numbers. Well, in the news right now, over in Arkansas, a man suspected of murder is on the run after escaping from an East Arkansas jail. St. Francis County Sheriff's deputies are on the lookout for 32-year-old Jonathan Paulman after he stole a county-owned truck escaping jail. Police say that truck was a white Dodge 4-door pickup. Paulman was arrested back in January on first-degree murder charges after a body was found behind a camper that belonged to him. If you have any information on where Paulman is, call the Sheriff's Department at 870-633-2611. Well, looking ahead, tomorrow, Memphis City Council will discuss plans for the Greenlaw Community Center in Uptown. Right now, Memphis police plan to use the facility as the new home of its community engagement unit. Now, there's been a lot of back and forth on this. Memphis Mayor Jim Strickland and MPD Chief C.J. Davis gave conflicting details on plans for the building at North 3rd and Greenlaw. Mayor Strickland said Greenlaw could be used as a place to hold kids who violate curfew. Chief Davis insists the facility would not be used as a detention center. This is one of those stories where we will just have to keep you posted.
Yeah, not a bad day today. The storms from yesterday moved out. We've been pretty dry today and temperatures haven't been nearly as hot. We only got to around 80 today, so it's going to feel pretty comfortable through this evening. If you want to barbecue outside, good weather for it. Temperatures in the 70s for the next several hours. But the further we go into tonight, the better chance of rain. Really, after 11 p.m., we are going to see some spotty showers on the radar. Temperature is going to hang out right around 66 degrees overnight tonight. That rain will continue for the first part of tomorrow. So that early morning commute, unfortunately, is looking at least a little bit soggy. But the further we go into the day tomorrow, those rain chances will go back down. And it's going to turn out to be a pretty nice afternoon tomorrow. But again, rain likely to start off your Tuesday. We'll talk more about that. We'll time out the rain chances hour by hour. That's in the full forecast here in just a little bit.
All right, we'll check in with you then, Trevor. Thank you. Well, major questions swirling around a company that makes airbag inflators found in millions of cars. ARC Automotive, which is based in Tennessee, refused a request from federal regulators to recall the parts. Federal leaders say it appears they're defective, but ARC disagrees. The Wall Street Journal says the company has been sued before over claims of poor welds on components. And drivers, you can now start using the I-55 bridge again, and here's a live look at that bridge. It's back open after closing for most of the weekend as part of the I-55 Crump Boulevard construction project. It was supposed to open at 6 this morning, but crews finished early and opened it up Sunday night. The entire project should be done by 2025. All right, well, there's still more to come on ABC 24 News at 5. Remembering Tyree Nichols. We've got a look at how his love of skating inspired a new park to open on the other side of the country.